So my name is Oded Sharon. I'm the CEO of Corbomite Games, which is an Israeli game company. I think this panel is going to be more like a discussion between the three of us, and then we'll answer some questions or discuss some topics from the audience. So if you want to ask something or raise a topic, just tweet and mention me at Sound Guy, and I'll look in my iPhone and if there's anything interesting, I'll raise it to the panel. So again, my name is Oded. I run a game company. We're doing stuff from putting music on the game Rock Band for Israeli bands, and doing games for iPhone, and we're doing adventure games for PC. And we've been touching the whole social media, social networking, both from the game aspects and from the aspect of game designers who help social media companies or people with social media products gamify their products as well. And I'm going to let the other panelists introduce themselves.
Hi, first thank you very much for inviting me. My name is Yarin, I'm the CEO of Overwolf, and what we do in Overwolf is social optimization for downloadable games which are not and cannot be connected to Facebook, unlike Flash games. So if you're downloading a game and playing it, it can be StarCraft, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, whatever. Our social layer is injected as an overlay on top of the game, and it allows you to share events from the game with your friends, to Twitter and to Facebook. When we started this venture, we figured out that Zynga are doing such a great job in Facebook, so now why not let games which are not on Facebook enjoy the fruits of social media as well. We're launching in about 2 months, so if you're a gamer, you should go to our site and register. That's it.
Hi. First of all, thanks for everyone, and thanks Jeff for the opportunity to be on this panel. It's a great conference. And my name is Yarin. I'm a web junkie and social media nutball, you could say. And in the past, like 3 months, about 3 months, me and my team started developing Facebook games and began experimenting with social games. And we've just recently produced and released a public beta of our first game, which we call FreeStyle, which is basically a very, very simple game. Some might call it app, but we're working towards building it as a game. Yeah. And this is a very, very simple game. We leverage the billions of photos which are being uploaded to Facebook every day. And we just capture the faces from either your photos or your friends, and gives you the ability to dress them. And we've created an actual store with virtual currency which you can buy and customize clothes and all sorts of very neat accessories. And it's been out for like a month, and we've been getting some great feedback and working on the next big version.
All right, so let's start the discussion rolling. Games have been existing for few millennia, starting from chess in the old Persian days. And games have always been something social. They've always been something that you play socially with friends or with colleagues or whomever. And recently there's a lot of talk about social gaming and game social networks. And the first question I want to raise is what changed? What's different now than was 1,000 years ago?
I think mostly what's changed is that both Facebook and Twitter have basically gone mainstream, and not just in the territory of these so-called Uber geeks. And millions of people visit Facebook every day, and about half of Facebook users are playing games, mostly Zynga games, because they are the most successful, thriving developer on Facebook, but playing these games on Facebook. And that is something huge. The social loop has really occurred. And I'd argue that in a world without Facebook and Twitter and these tools, gaming companies like Zynga and Hochman on the iPhone, for example, Play-Doh and Crowdstar could not thrive and succeed as much as they did.
I'd like to add to that and say that Facebook and Twitter provide the platform, the ideal platform for social gaming. Because if we don't look 1,000 years back, we look just like 5 years back, we could not do what Zynga are doing right now because the platform did not exist. We did have multiplayer games, but it wasn't the same. So the basic difference between what we used to have is the platform itself.
Does the fact that we have Twitter now or Facebook changes the way people are playing like the old-fashioned games, like first-person shooters or World of Warcraft? Does the social networks have any effect on like the traditional computer games?
I think definitely. People are uploading achievements to Twitter, to Facebook, screenshots, videos, feeling proud about what they just did in the game, and causing their friends to want to beat them, to want to be better than them, and to log into the game and play more. So this is a whole snowball that rolls and causes more interaction with the games, and this is what we're trying to do in our company.
Yeah, also there's the social loop and the so-called compulsion. For example, when you go into my farm or whatever it is and give me a certain gift or something like that, I feel the obligation to give something back to you. That is where an actual relationship takes place. And the gaming companies that know very, very brightly and wisely how to seize these things are doing very, very well. There's a whole major psychology in the backstage of these things.
I want to talk about exactly the opposite. The meta game that apps have been trying to incorporate into their apps. For example, Foursquare and Goala, which are two location-based apps for location-based devices. If anybody doesn't know what Foursquare is, I'm not sure what they're doing here. So anyway, Foursquare is incorporating game mechanics. For example, scores, leaderboards, achievements in the form of badges, just like you would see in Xbox 5 years ago.
So does Fitme, by the way.
Yeah, Fitme also.
To wake up Yossi, yeah.
There's a great thing about game mechanics and how to make people come back to the game. And it's, you have to do the basics, the badges, the leaderboards, everything.
For the audience at home that didn't hear, Yossi just mentioned that that's the way to bringing in keeping the get them hooked, like all the game elements. So, what kind of other game mechanics, other than achievements and scores, can we expect to see in social apps or in apps in general? I mean, would you see scoring system in, for example, a project management system for enterprises? For example, or like a bug solving, like a QA system, you'd see scores in bug systems for enterprises?
Just yesterday, I watched this lecture you sent me an email, and this guy, he had an idea to hand out XP points for brushing your teeth. And if you brush your teeth for more than 3 minutes, you get like double. And if you brush your teeth for 5 days in a row, you get like 500 points. And this would be great because everyone would benefit. You brush your teeth, you invest in brushing your teeth, and also the healthcare, right?
No, the question is it really so great? Because he had this crazy utopian vision of the future, but at the end it didn't really seem so great. It got kind of creepy, and you got all sort of kind of robotic knowledge there. You get rewarded for silly, minor actions you do.
But we see it work in real life. This is my humble opinion. I think this works. This actually works. Foursquare, when I downloaded Foursquare, I started running after badges and titles, and I think it really works. It even work. McDonald's with the stars, but also other companies, high-tech companies. Not just teenagers working at the cashier.
Yeah. Hi, there's a pizza event this weekend. Yeah. all those guys are getting there for, of course, experience, the social, but they want these badges. They want that pizza Foursquare badge.
By the way, did we get the swarm badge in Foursquare today? No, not enough people checked in here, right?
48.
48.
Just two missing.
Two more. So 2 more people can check in so without the swarm badge can get their badge, right? Any questions from the audience? We've got like 2 minutes left. More discussions. I mean, okay, let's get some ideas from you guys. What kind of like things you would normally see in games would you want to see in like social apps or apps in general? Any ideas at all?
Backman.
I'd like to have someone clean my apartment and get badges for me.
There's actually an iPhone app called Chores, which you install on all the devices for your family, your kid, your wife, and whenever somebody does a chore, it gets points, and so the kids should compete over points
By
when
the
they do
way,
chores.
I give badges if you give me an iPhone.
Not just an iPhone 4.
I want to also mention a game that was developed a few days ago. It's called Pac-Man Tel Aviv. Chamutal here, and a group of other Magento and Lila and Yoav, Segal. They all did like a game where you go around Masaryk Square and you play Pac-Man on the streets of Tel Aviv, and I highly recommend to check it out. Any more questions or discussions? The 1 minute we have left.
Well, I do have one thought. When I sat there and I thought about it, and, something else to say, I think that the best gifts and the best things that you can get in life sometimes don't really cost money. Like a good word, a pat on the shoulder, saying I love you, stuff like that, or getting an achievement. And this is why I think this really works, and it can be embedded in almost everything we do in life. That's
it. First of all, I agree, but I think that beyond these badges, it's about the value that the app or the game is creating. Foursquare would not have worked if it wasn't for the social experience it provides.
All right, so that's our time. Thank you very much.